Alright, here we go. Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream for today's video. In today's stream we are going to be talking about episode 28, Art of the Silent Fist, the second episode in season 3. So we're continuing our stream of rebooted, or we're continuing our streak of rebooted episode reviews with today's episode. As for the drink, yeah, you guys got it right. It is water. Just doing simple stuff today. Haven't really done a different drink in a while. Maybe tomorrow we'll switch it up a little bit, but as it stands right now, we don't have any other drinks in the house besides water, so I'm not complaining. Water's good for you. You know. Stay hydrated. Right now, the cats are fighting in front of the door, so if you hear hissing and scratching in the background, that's probably why. But yeah, in case you guys are just joining us here, thank you very much for joining us in today's stream. In case it's your first time here, we stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. And obviously, we're going to be updating this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I will let you guys know. But in the meantime, we're here today talking about the Art of the Silent Fist, one of my favorite episodes of all time, one of my favorite rebooted episodes as well, if not my favorite episode of season 3. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking forward to this episode. I know I am. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and run the slideshow in the background. Welcome everybody joining in the chat. I see all of you guys here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to let the slideshow run as I go over the plot. Then we will discuss a couple of the good things about the episode. Then we'll go into some of the bad. And then finally, at the end of the actual review, we will give the episode a score out of 10. So let's get to it. Let's go ahead and get started talking about the plot, and then we'll just go from there. So the episode begins with Ninjago City pretty much deserted after the events of the last episode, and there are a bunch of, I guess, automated patrols going around the city looking for Lloyd, because it's revealed that the Overlord is trying to extract the golden power from Lloyd in order to go ahead and improve himself and kind of create a physical body for himself. So that's the Overlord's plan throughout this entire season. So pretty cool, interesting dynamic there for the Overlord. But yeah, they're looking for Lloyd. Pixel and the Overlord are trying to extract the golden power that they received at the end of the last episode. It's not enough though, and it's not enough to get the Overlord a brand new body. So he, of course, is fed up with everything and just wants his own body back, which is understandable. In order to find the ninja, they're basically using Master Wu to find them, using his memories in order to search for all of their hiding spots. So it makes sense. It makes sense why they would use Wu for that. I just kind of feel bad for Master Wu, though. Meanwhile, the ninja are kind of outside Sensei Garmadon's new monastery, so that's cool. They're hiding their vehicles by putting trees on top of them. Not so sure what that's all about there. But overall, they're doing their best. Lloyd basically is here now. He's part of the main team again. So Nia decides to give him a brand new suit, which is, of course, Lloyd's techno suit, back to being green. I feel like that's one of the best suits that we've seen for Lloyd, pretty much throughout the entire lineup of Ninjago. So I really like that suit. I know a lot of you guys like it as well. But it basically helps out as well because he can't be tracked, he can't be monitored. So obviously it's a good, I guess, tactic. And again, they're outside Garmadon's monastery, and they meet up with Misaka, whom we haven't seen since the ending of season 2, and she basically explains to the ninja that, yeah, Sensei Garmadon is now, well, Sensei Garmadon, and he's taken an oath against weapons, meaning that the ninja cannot bring the Technoblades inside to meet him. So obviously they have to leave them outside, and Zane decides to I guess stay back and look after them, so the other ninja can go ahead and try to get help from the Sensei Garmadon. So that's fun. Basically, they introduce Sensei Garmadon here as, Sensei Garmadon, and it's kind of interesting to see Garmadon, fully good again. We saw him good at the end of the last season, but now he's fully there. He's fully like on his own, and he's just fully good now. So that's awesome to see. And he's teaching a class about the art of the Silent Fist, a way to fight without fighting. It's a pretty good thing. And obviously the ninja try to learn that, and they use Lloyd as a volunteer. Doesn't go super great for Lloyd, but overall they actually get the technique down, so it's pretty good there. Meanwhile, Zane is kind of outside when the Technoblades are stolen, of course, by Pixel. Now, obviously, Pixel is not under, I guess, her own control. She's currently being controlled by the Overlord at this point, and she steals the Technoblades to run back to the Overlord and basically give them back to him, obviously, because the Overlord wants the Technoblades. Zane intercepts stops her and figures out that it's her doing it, pretty much stops her and brings her back to the monastery. The ninja and Garmadon pretty much enter or exit the monastery to see Pixel tied up. Zane hacks her with the Technoblade, and she basically explains what her issue is, how she's not under her own control, or she wasn't, and that she also didn't come alone. She is with an army of Nindroids. So the Nindroids all show up and surround the ninja, and obviously this is where the big fight of the episode breaks out, or at least the first of the two big fights. This episode does have a couple of things going on, and it's kind of jumping all over the place, but you guys get it. Basically, the ninja versus Nindroids battle breaks out, and a lot of stuff goes down. Zane kind of gets injured as Blaze knocks over stuff in the corner. Sorry for the noise. Blaze is playing with his little toys in the corner. I'm gonna have to make him halt. All right, he'll be fine in the corner. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, the ninja versus Nindroids battle's going on, and obviously it's All right, I might need to pause the stream super quick to go take care of the cats. Hold on 1 second. All right, and we're back. Thank you for letting me take that small break. Sorry for the interruption. Blaze was kind of in the corner throwing his toys around. It was making a lot of noise. So I just let him out the door. He was kind of trapped in here. So yeah, I just kind of clapped my hands a little bit, tried to make him halt, but he didn't, so I opened the door and let him out. So yeah, we're back now. The Ninja versus Nindroids battle is actually pretty cool. A lot of stuff goes down here. Lloyd realizes that he can't use his golden power because the Nindroids kind of feed off of that and kind of collect it. So Lloyd can't do that, and Zane kind of gets critically injured here. In order to get the Nindroids off of them, the ninja pretty much set up their vehicles for autopilot, and they kind of go off on their own. The Nindroids, of course, fall for the decoy and follow them, while the ninja get a chance to rendezvous and kind of come up with a new idea. They kind of decide to split up. Lloyd and Garmadon will go off on their own, while the rest of the ninja will go to the power supply for Ninjago to try to shut off the power in order to disable the Nindroids and the Overlord and pretty much everything else connected to them. So obviously that would mean Pixel as well, and we'll get into more regarding Pixel's power later on in the actual stream. So the ninja split up. Lloyd and Garmadon head over to Nia's secret Samurai X cave, which is now a thing, and the ninja basically go to the power supply. The Overlord also deploys the Nindroid Mech Dragon in order to hunt down Lloyd in order to, find his golden power. So it's one of my favorite things. The Nindroid Mech Dragon is easily one of my favorite aspects of this episode. I think it's a really awesome dragon, and I really like what it does in this episode. So we basically cut to the ninja taking kind of like a truck thing. It's kind of like a circus truck to the power supply, and obviously it's not the best thing ever. They're kind of in tight quarters, but they do make it there eventually. But in the meantime, we get a little bit of a moment between Nia and Cole, which is where a lot of people will start to have issues, because the love triangle this season that was introduced isn't the best thing ever. I know a lot of people really like it, but a lot of people also don't. And overall, Nia kind of explains to Cole that he's kind of underrated. He doesn't get the credit he deserves, and they have a little bit of a hand-holding moment until they're interrupted by Jay and Kai, but they don't really think much of it. They actually do get to the power supply at this point, so it's pretty good, all things considered. Meanwhile, Lloyd and Garmadon make it to the Samurai X cave, pick up one of Nia's vehicles, and kind of go on their way. Garmadon is driving, and Lloyd is kind of sitting in the back seat, manning the weapons, if you will, so that'll lead into more of the conflict later on in the episode. The ninja get to the power supply, and the Nindroids are also there as well, pretty much figuring out what the ninja are doing. So obviously in this, I guess, struggle, Pixel's kind of captured by the Nindroids, so Zane kind of freaks out and goes after her. We're kind of skipping ahead a little bit. This episode does kind of skip back and forth from various plot points. Meanwhile, Lloyd and Garmadon are attacked by the Nindroid Mech Dragon, and they have a conflict of their own on hand. The Mech Dragon basically chases them, and they try to get away. Lloyd kind of shoots at the Mech Dragon a couple times using Nia's vehicle, and while it does kind of hit the dragon, it's not so effective. The main goal right now is to get the power deployed, which is what the ninja are trying to do. Zane, of course, goes after Pixel, tries to take on the Nindroids all by himself, including General Cryptor, who, of course, has Pixel captured, basically has her under his arm, and Zane tries his best, but of course Cryptor is a little too powerful for Zane at this point, and he kind of messes him up pretty good. Meanwhile, the ninja get an idea in order to disable the power. As Nindroid enters the arena, if you will, they realize that they can use the Nindroids to actually disable the power supply themselves by getting it shot a bunch of times. So that's exactly what they do. They open the door, and all the Nindroids come into the room and start shooting at the power supply, or of course shooting at the ninja who are in front of the power supply. But obviously their plan works, and obviously it takes a little bit of effort, but the Nindroids eventually do shut down the power, causing a massive blackout throughout Ninjago, and it also cripples the Nindroid mech dragon. So that thing's down. Unfortunately, it didn't really do much before it was unfortunately taken down, but we will see it again in later episodes. But this was its big debut, if you will. It didn't do a whole lot, but I'm not complaining about that. Meanwhile, the power is destroyed throughout Ninjago. Everything's shut down. That includes Pixel as well. We get a little bit of a heartfelt moment with Zane and Pixel at the end of the episode, as Pixel kind of shuts down. So they are looking for another source of power, and the power across all of Ninjago isn't really active at the moment. Lloyd and Garmadon basically continue their journey on foot as there's no power. So that'll lead into the next episode, where we're feeling the repercussions of this power shutdown. So we will see that later on. But in the meantime, that's pretty much where the episode ends. So in terms of good stuff, there's a lot of good stuff. Again, as I said earlier, this is one of my favorite episodes of Season 3, if not one of my favorite episodes of all time. So the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, Sensei Garmadon. We're finally seeing him in full. Of course, as mentioned earlier, we saw him at the end of the last season, but he didn't do a whole lot. Here, he's fully back, and he's 100% Sensei Garmadon, teaching his own students, and he has his own monastery. And in my opinion, that's awesome. I love Sensei Garmadon. I think I prefer the character of Garmadon more as a sensei or a master, as opposed to his evil thing. That's amazing. But Garmadon himself was pretty fun to see in this episode. It was nice to see him back fully in his true form. That's awesome. I see a couple of folks in the chat mentioning Nindroid. Yes, Nindroid is very cool. He's one of the most underrated characters. But yeah, this episode is kind of his debut as well. He doesn't do a whole lot. He kind of unfortunately enters the power supply room, and that's basically where the ninja get the idea to use the Nindroids against themselves. So Nindroid is pretty cool. He's kind of like the last one on the assembly line, according to Cryptor, so kind of makes sense why he's the smaller, shorter one of all the Nindroids. But overall, the Nindroids are cool, and Nindroid is a pretty cool aspect of them. The Overlord also needs golden power. That plot point was established in this episode too, and of course the Nindroid mech dragon is amazing. Easily one of my favorite things. I really would like to see a Legacy remake of the mech dragon. That's pretty much on my wish list for Legacy, but I don't think they'll do it anytime soon, which is kind of unfortunate. But anyway, the mech dragon was awesome, and of course the golden power plot is going to be something that we need to pay attention to moving forward as well, because that's going to be a major part of this season. So also, I really enjoyed, I guess, the setup for the whole Jay, Cole, and Nia dynamic. A lot of people don't like this love triangle, as I said earlier, but I kind of enjoy it. I like the tension that it creates between Jay and Cole, and this episode was kind of the precursor to all of this. Nia has a discussion with Misako about what she wants, and her moment with Cole in the circus truck as well kind of alludes to how she feels. So that'll obviously be established more in later episodes, but for the most part, it was kind of set up here, and I thought it was a pretty good setup. I also need to talk about the power supply battle and the first battle as well. The power supply battle is easily the biggest one of this entire episode. There are two major fights that go down this episode, and the power supply battle against the Nindroids is the bigger of the two. So obviously, it's something that's pretty crazy. There's a lot of stuff at stake here. I have to give good tension to, or I have to give a good, I guess, highlight to Zane and Cryptor's battle over Pixel, because they're obviously super great as a dynamic, I guess, series, if you will. They're also really good together in terms of enemies. I really like how Zane and Cryptor kind of are opposites of the same thing, if you will. So it's nice to see them battle, and it's nice to see them, I guess, take each other down, or at least try to. It was a pretty good fight, all things considered. I really liked it. And of course, Zane and Pixel have a lot of moments in this episode. The moments on the train, or on the circus truck, needs to be mentioned, and also their moment at the end of the episode. It's kind of obvious that they are going to be, I guess, a thing moving forward, which, you know, is good for Zane. Zane gets a lot of development this season, obviously because it is his season, but also because of Pixel. So I really did enjoy that aspect of, I guess, Zane and Pixel's dynamic this episode. Also, Zane as well, I do need to mention Zane in this episode did a really good job, I guess, expressing what he wants and what he believes in. Obviously, he went after Pixel because he appreciates Pixel, he likes Pixel in that way, and he opted to go after her as opposed to, I guess, staying and helping the other ninja. So it kind of shows a little bit more individuality for him, which is something that we didn't really see in a lot of other seasons prior. So it's nice to see him actually have something that he can call his own. So obviously, leaving the comrades wasn't probably the best thing to do, but obviously, what else is he gonna do? He wants to save Pixel, so he's going to, and that's pretty much why I really enjoy Zane. I also need to talk about the first battle too. It's kind of underwhelming, the initial battle between Zane, or not Zane, but the Nindroids and the ninja at Garmadon's monastery. We see Garmadon do some cool moves. We see the rest of the ninja do some cool stuff too. But unfortunately, that battle, the ninja really weren't prepared, which of course isn't a fault of the writing. It's just a fault of, well, the ninja not being prepared, of course. They've never seen Nindroids before. This is the first time that we're seeing them in full. So it's nice to actually see the Nindroids do something, and it's nice to see the ninja kind of fight something out of their element, if you will. It's not really something that the ninja can control. So overall, I thought this episode was pretty good in terms of the actual battles, in terms of the character moments, in terms of the villainous stuff going on. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode, especially the first half. I will admit, at the second half, the episode does kind of get a little underwhelming to me personally, but the first half it's really good. It's easily some of my favorite stuff about Ninjago, and it's not like the second half is bad either. It's just not as good as the first half, but it's still not bad, if that makes sense. Overall, this episode had a lot of good things going for it, and not a lot of bad stuff. I can't really think of anything that I really need to say is a negative, if you will. So for a score, I think it's pretty obvious what this episode's going to be getting: a 10 out of 10 from me. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about this episode. Leave a score in the chat as I sip my water. Yeah, obviously my throat gets a little dry when I'm talking nonstop. Let's see what you guys got for scores. 7, 10, 10, 9, 9. I don't know, I really enjoy this episode. 8, 10. Pretty high scores, all things considered so far. 10 out of 10, 9, 8. Silent Fist out of 10. Fair enough. Couple 7s, couple 9s. 7 didn't like the season. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, obviously. I think season 3 is probably one of the better seasons, all things considered, in terms of an overall concept. But that's just me. What's the drink for today? We got water. 999. A 4? Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that most people kind of enjoy this episode. I know I sure do. Easily one of my favorite episodes. I don't know what it is about this episode that I love so much, but the first 2 episodes of Rebooted are kind of like some of my favorites. Obviously, tomorrow we will continue the review with, I think Blackout is next. Is that the name of the next episode? We have the episode tomorrow to talk about as well. So we are basically done talking about this episode today. We have finished the review for episode 28, Art of the Silent Fist. I personally enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait to see more of what Rebooted has to offer. It's been kind of a treat rewatching Rebooted. Have not watched it in a very long time, so it's kind of nice to visit it again. But overall, that'll pretty much do it for the review. So let's go ahead and jump into, what are we doing now? The Q and the A's. Very nice. Yeah, so now is the portion of the stream where we kind of fill up time. So we will just kind of answer random questions until the stream gets done. If there's anything Ninjago related that you guys want me to talk about, let me know. There will be more videos coming out today, actually. So if there's a topic that I can talk about in terms of Ninjago, let me know. Otherwise, just any type of question we'll do here. Anything goes now. Now's a part of the stream where we just kind of hang out and try to hit that hour-long mark. So let's get started with March of the Oni today. I think we'll start off with those images. What score did I give this episode? A 10 out of 10, because I enjoyed it a lot. Have I seen anything regarding season 15? There was like a really weird leak that came out yesterday, I think, revolving like a water dragon or something like that. I haven't looked too much into it because there's not a lot of other sources that are reporting on it besides just this one guy. So I'm not so sure how believable that is, but if it is true, if season 15 is going to be including a water dragon set, then I think it's safe to say that maybe season 15 could be Nia's story. So obviously that's something that I will be talking about later on. If more information comes out regarding that specific leak, then I will talk about the leak. But I do have a video coming out later today talking about the potential of a Nia season after season 14. So stay tuned for that. But I don't talk about the leak in that video because I made that video prior to the news dropping. But yes, I have seen the leaks regarding season 15, and it is looking very likely that it could be a Nia season. So I'm excited for that. Have I seen the new Legacy Electromech? Yeah, unfortunately I have, and it's very tragic what they did to the Electromech. The original Electromech wasn't all that great either, I should specify. It's not the best mech ever, but I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. It was a cheap little mech, and it was something that I enjoyed. I modified it a lot, though, because the colors on that thing, if you had the original Electromech from the tournament wave, it was ridiculous. I really didn't like the back of it. The back was super ugly. So I kind of rebuilt it a little bit, recolored it, and made it a little bit better than it was. I kind of modified it a lot. This new Legacy Electromech, though, is just something that I simply am not going to get. It does not look great. I will be doing a video on that eventually as well. Not today, maybe tomorrow, but yeah, it's not the best thing. The Legacy Electromech isn't all that great. Of course, it is a junior set, and I can understand why they make it, but I wish they would have had like an actual version of it too, instead of just a regular junior set, because the junior sets, they're not that great, and I feel bad for that demographic. Of course, it's meant for like super young kids, but I feel bad for them because the sets kind of suck, you know? They're not that great in terms of design, of course. So. Any good sets for 50 US dollars? Well, how much is the Thunder Raider? Isn't that like 50 US? Otherwise, I think the Kai Fighter's 40. That's cool too. For 50, I'm not so sure. There's a lot of stuff to choose from that's under 50, but I can't think of anything that's exactly 50 bucks. Maybe the Stormwave will give us a better Electromech with Klaus's mech too. See, that was the dream. I think that's what a lot of people want, and that's what I kind of want too. A set with the Electromech versus Klaus's stone magic mech thing from from tournament. Can't remember the actual name of that thing, but that would have been a very cool actual, I guess, battle between the mechs set. And I hope they do that in the summer wave. That'd be an ideal thing. So yeah, I feel like overall that could work. I hope we do get that. I mean, it's not like Juniors has, just made exclusive sets before. I mean, they have, but they've also made sets that are also actual legacy sets too. Like they did a set for the Stormfighter, which of course was an actual legacy set at the time. So it's not like they're, I guess, opposed to that. So we could very well be getting an Electromech set later on. I just kind of wished that this new Junior set could have been a little bit of a legacy, I guess, proper set, if you will, proper remake instead of just a junior set. I don't know. I can't really complain though. You got to make stuff for juniors as well, so I'm not too picky about that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in Legacy that I enjoy on their own or on its own, besides just the junior stuff. But there's a lot of good stuff coming out. I'm pretty sure I saw someone selling the new Titan mech on eBay, and I'm pretty sure that's sold for a fair amount of money. So clearly people are excited. I'm excited. So I just hope we get these things as soon as possible. I've heard rumors that they're coming out February. I've heard rumors of January. I just hope we get them soon. One of my favorite sets for the Legacy 2021 wave is the new Titan mech. I think that thing's amazing. I'm going to get that day one. Titan mech, the Overlord Dragon, the Tournament of Elements. I got a lot of stuff that I'm going to pick up this time around, and I'm really excited. I haven't really bought a whole bunch of LEGO sets in a row in a while, so I'm looking forward to doing that again. It's been a minute since I've just kind of bought a bunch of sets day one from a Ninjago wave, so I'm excited. Yeah, it sold for over $100 on eBay, so it's interesting. But of course, some people are gonna try to get that stuff early. I know there are a bunch of people that have the new Season 14 Lloyd figure already. I've never really seen the appeal in that personally. I've never really thought that that was, I guess, necessary. I can understand why people would want sets and minifigures early, but I'm more than happy just waiting like another month and then just paying like the regular price for it. I don't want to pay double for something just to get it like a few weeks early. So I understand the appeal for some people, but I was never personally into that. How many seasons does Ninjago have? We are currently entering the 14th season. That's going to be coming out sometime early 2021. So we got about 14 seasons plus an initial pilot season of 4 episodes, or 2 episodes depending on where you live. And then we have a couple of TV specials in there too. So Ninjago's got a lot of stuff. It's also got the movie, but we don't really count the movie as part of the show, but it is part of Ninjago, so I enjoy the movie. You guys know that. What if Dareth took creepy pictures of you? I would phone the police. If anyone's taking creepy pictures of you just in general, contact the police. They will help you. Luckily, with my new apartment, I live right down the road from a police station, so if need be, I can kind of run for like a minute and be at the police station. So, yeah, so guys, keep that in mind. um, as I sip my water, I'm also kind of hungry, but I'll probably grab something to eat after the stream. When do you think we're gonna get Ninjago City Gardens? Hopefully around the same time as the. I don't think we're gonna be getting it at the same time as the Legacy stuff for 2021, but I think we will be getting it for or around the season 14 set release window too. I think that's probably more likely, so probably around March or April. I just hope we see pictures of it too, because I really want to see if that thing is going to be an addition to the Ninjago City sets from the movie. If they are, it's probably not so likely that I'm going to grab it right away, but if it's just its own thing, I for sure will be picking that up too. So lots of money spending on Ninjago stuff this go around, so I'm kind of looking forward to that though. As I said earlier, it's been a while since I've kind of pigged out, if you will, on a Ninjago wave, so I'm kind of looking forward to doing that for this upcoming 10th anniversary Legacy wave. I'm also kind of toying with the idea of getting the new X1 Ninja Charger. I don't know if I want that or not, but it does look cool. It does look better than the original in my opinion, so I might pick that up, but right now that set's kind of a maybe on my end. For the Season 14 stuff, I don't really know what I want to get. Season 14, they only have 4 sets, but none of them really appeal to me necessarily. If I'm going to get any of the sets, I'm going to get the Jungle Dragon because I like the way that that thing looks. I think its face is funny. um, does Pixel have a crush on Zane and Ninjago? Yeah, I would hope so. They're kind of together. They've been together for a very long time, so I would hope they have crushes on each other. Want a Ninjago game based off the show? Yeah, that could be fun. I'm not so sure if we will get that soon, but hopefully we'll get another Ninjago video game, one that's actually good, because I'd like to play a Ninjago game again, um, but we haven't really gotten one recently that's all that great, so hopefully we can get a good one soon. What LEGO Ninjago set have retired and went up in value? Well, right now a lot of the Season 11 sets are kind of going up in value. I've noticed that the Lloyd's Titan Mech set is kind of going up a little bit in value. It's been going up in price for the past couple of weeks. So like on eBay and places like that, it's actually increasing in price. So obviously any like newly retired sets are going to go up in value. If you're looking at something like some of the original 2011 sets, yeah, those are going to be super expensive if you try to buy them brand new off of a third party hand right now. I would personally recommend, if you guys are planning on getting any older sets, I would recommend going onto eBay or Bricklink and buying the set used without like a box or instructions. If they just send you the pieces and the minifigures, that's good enough for me, because obviously then I can, just find the instructions online. All the Lego instructions are available online for those of you wondering, and it's just an easy process. It's easier than having to pay a lot of money for a brand new unopened set. Zane's Minor Creature or Kai's Legacy Flyer. In terms of what, the Kai Fighter, I enjoy the Kai Fighter a lot more. The Minor Creature isn't like anything to me, but I'd say the Kai Fighter is a better set. Have I seen Jason Bourne? I have not seen any of those movies now. They haven't really been my thing. Never got around to watching them when I was younger. Haven't watched them now, so yeah. When did I start live streams? I don't know when we started live streams. It was probably a few months ago at this point now, because we started with the pilot episodes and then we just kind of kept going. We went through all of season 1, all of season 2, and now we're on season 3. We're already 2 episodes into season 3, and there are only 8 episodes in total, so we're already a quarter of the way through season 3. So, um, but yeah. Ever hear of Dude Perfect? Yeah, I've seen them a lot. Their videos, I used to watch them a lot when I was younger with some of my friends, but now obviously I've kind of grown out of that. Haven't really watched them in a while. What Elemental Master is likely to be a ninja other than Skylar? I think that they could make Morrow a ninja if they really wanted to. Morrow is a character that I feel like could be a very good ally if they brought him back, and if they did him correctly, he could come back and be a ninja. I always thought he should have been a ninja after season 5, but in terms of an Elemental Master that's alive right now, maybe somebody like Nero, Master of Mind, he could be a ninja. His powers would be very useful. Otherwise, any of the other Elemental Masters would work out too. I'd like to see Nelson become like an actual ninja too, with like a power. That could be cool. Um, Skylar is a ninja. She's just not part of the team. I guess in that way, she's not like an official ninja. I know she does do some ninja stuff, and she has like some ninja designs and stuff like that. She has some ninja moves, but I don't know if I would call her necessarily a ninja. I suppose you could call her a ninja, but I never really did. That's just my opinion. Do I think that the ninja would unlock golden power? I feel like that would be something very cool for like the ending of Ninjago. That'd be awesome if they could all unlock golden power one more time like they did in the Digiverse, and all combine their powers to take on some type of threat. That could be awesome overall. I don't really feel like there's any reason why they couldn't do that. But yeah. Have I heard of the new Prime Empire game? Lego made a game for it. Is it like an online game of sorts? Because I know we've gotten like online games in the past, but I've never been a big fan of those. I never really played those, and I haven't been keeping up. So, If that's like an online game, then no, I haven't really heard of that. But I think that they should make like an actual wide release Ninjago game like for consoles again. I feel like that'd be awesome. I feel like that's something that a lot of people want to see. Um, am I a ninja? I wish. No, I can't really do a whole lot of anything. I'm not super athletic, if that makes sense, which should go without, saying. I kind of sit at a computer all day and make Ninjago videos. I mean, how athletic could I really be? But no, I do exercise. I try to squeeze in a couple of minutes a day. It's not much, but I have like little dumbbells under my desk and stuff. So every so often, in between like episodes or in between videos when I'm rendering a video or something, I'll do that. So I try to stay active as much as I can. It's also super cold outside, so it's not like I can go outside for walks anymore without having to bundle up. But I don't know. I try to take care of myself. If I had to pick one element to harness, what would it be? I've been kind of thinking about it a little bit. Usually I would say like lightning or ice, but I kind of feel like honestly water would be a pretty good element to harness. I could see myself being the master of water. That'd be awesome. So, um, I feel like that would be a super cool element to control. As much as Nia is kind of like a lower tier character in my opinion, her power leaves a lot to be like showcased and desired. I hope season 15 is like a water season because I think that season 15 would be a great opportunity for Nia to, I guess, come out of her shell a little bit and make her own storyline. Ice is water, yeah, but in Ninjago they're listed as two separate elements. You could also say the same like for fire and earth because those two elements are also very similar. I mean, which one would be better to control lava? I would argue that it would be coal that should control lava and not Kai because lava as it is just more of an earth substance as opposed to a fire substance. So elements in Ninjago are kind of similar. I always considered Kai and Cole to have similar powers. I considered Zane and Nia to have similar powers. So obviously it's just I guess an aspect of I guess what you believe in, but Ninjago itself does label them as separate elements. So maybe Nia and Jay work together to create a storm at the end of season 15. Could be. I always figured that maybe what they could do to lead into a season 15 Nia story is conclude season 14 by having it lead into season 15, because if you look at the island at hand, the ninja are going to be at an island in season 14. We've kind of made that clear at this point. That's kind of been made obvious. So what surrounds an island? Well, water. So maybe they could just take the fight underwater. Again, I'll be doing a video later today talking about that kind of stuff. It should go up in a few hours, actually. So I feel like maybe that'd be a nice lead in. It could kind of connect season 14 and 15 kind of a little bit more than what season 12 and 13 had. Because in a lot of ways, 12 and 13 are connected, but in a lot of ways, they are very much separate. So I feel like they could do a little bit better of a job at connecting the seasons. And why not continue the fight into season 15 and let Nia kind of take over as the main character? Because if they're going to be underwater, that'd be awesome. I've had this great idea for like an underwater concept for the ninja. I feel like that could work out very well. I've had some designs in mind as to what the ninja could look like underwater. So overall, I feel like it would be a very cool thing if they could connect those just a little bit more. Who's my favorite ninja? Cole is my favorite ninja. Cole's been my favorite for a little bit now, and I don't really plan on changing him anytime soon. There's not really another ninja that I enjoy more. Cole kind of became my favorite after the Ninjago movie came out, um, so that'd be cool. I hope Nia learns she can breathe underwater. That'd be awesome to see Nia do that. Nia's abilities, as I said, they have a lot of room to grow. So I hope that she does take season 15 to grow. Cartoon Network said that Cole has fire powers in a YouTube video. Well, obviously that's not accurate. Again, Cartoon Network shouldn't be talking about Ninjago. For one, they don't advertise for it, and for two, they're not the most accurate sources when it comes to Ninjago information. You should make a Ninjago cult. I kind of feel like that's what we have here. It's like everyone in the chat right now, everyone's part of the Ninjago cult. I feel like we all worship Ninjago in that way. So I feel like already we've kind of created that. I know I would love to be a part of a Ninjago cult. So um, obviously this is where we're at. So in terms of whether or not Zane could go underwater, that's an interesting thought. I feel like Zane could if he really wanted to. I mean, Zane's been going underwater for a long time throughout Ninjago's run, so I don't feel like him being underwater is going to be a bad thing. I don't think his new form would short circuit or anything like that. I feel like he'll be fine. Um, Cartoon Network, why you like this? Yeah, exactly. Cartoon Network is kind of infamous for being kind of weird towards Ninjago. How do I send mail? In terms of like fan mail or anything like that, I don't have like an actual PO box or anything like that, so you can't really send me physical mail. I do have an email though, that's going to be in the description. I try to get to emails as fast as I can, but I've said this before, but like with like direct messages and DMs and emails and stuff like that, I get a lot of them during the day, and it's hard to kind of keep up with everybody. So just for warning, just in advance, I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm not, excluding anybody. It's just kind of hard to get to all the messages that I get throughout the day. So hopefully you guys understand that. I posted a similar message on Instagram, and it seems like a lot of people on there kind of understood. So, um, yeah. What if Nia were a vampire? That'd be crazy. They should try to do like a vampire season. I remember there was like a season a while ago that was kind of rumored to be like an underwater season, like with mermaids and whatnot as well. So obviously that leak was kind of fake and didn't end up being real. So clearly it's not something that we can go off of and say that it's fact. But I just kind of remember that it's kind of a weird thing. I hope season 15 is not like that. But as it stands right now, season 15 is very much looking like it could be a Nia season. So I'm excited. If season 15 is going to be kind of like an underwater Nia type story, I'd be more than okay with that. I feel like that'd be a very awesome thing, all things considered. I would very much like to see that happen. So sorry, Lloyd fans, but Lloyd is useless. No, I don't think Lloyd is useless. I feel like Lloyd right now is going to get a lot of development in season 14 because season 14 is going to be Lloyd's story. That could be awesome. So can't wait to see what that is. And I'm even more excited for season 15, man. 2021 is going to be great for Ninjago. Yeah, she needs development bad, I agree. I feel like season 15 might make me like her a little bit more, especially if she goes into her own element, kind of unlocks a little bit more of her own personality and a little bit more of her own power. That'd be awesome. I can't wait. So, but yeah, 2021 Ninjago is going to be a great year, all things considered. Think about it. We got the 10th anniversary coming out. We got the new Legacy stuff. We got even more Legacy stuff coming out in the summer wave. We have season 14 and season 15. It's going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I guess in general it could be great too. 2021 is going to be my year as well. I'm going to try to do a lot of stuff next year that I haven't done this year because COVID didn't allow me to. So I'm looking forward to next year. Obviously, COVID's still going to be a thing. Hopefully, it'll be less of a thing eventually, but I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of stuff coming out that I want to do, and there's a lot of movies coming out too that I want to go see. So hopefully, theaters actually open and such. I know that HBO is going to be having a bunch of movies on there. Like HBO Max is going to be showcasing a lot of the new Warner Brothers stuff that's coming out for movies. So I'm kind of looking forward to that as well. They're going to be running them in theaters and in or on HBO Max simultaneously. So that's an interesting way to do it. I mean, I have HBO Max, so I don't mind. The only ones that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing are stuff like Kong versus Godzilla because I'm a big Godzilla fan, so I kind of want to see that. So I'm kind of glad about that. Will I get the COVID vaccine? I mean, yeah, that'd be the goal eventually for everybody, I'd imagine. I don't feel like there would be anyone that wouldn't want it. I know some people probably won't get it right away. I feel like overall we should probably let it get out to people that need it first. I've seen that argument and I agree with that. So if there's easy ways to preventing, I guess, exposure, I guess we could continue to do that. Obviously, I don't go out much, and when I do go out much, obviously, precautions, wear a mask, hand sanitizer, that kind of stuff. So obviously, we've all been very careful here in terms of my own vicinity, and I hope you guys have been careful as well. And if you guys know anyone affected, my condolences. I apologize. Hopefully, they'll get better. So, yeah, my goal for 2021 is hopefully to see the world improve. So I'm excited, and the Ninjago scene is going to be crazy. So I'm looking forward to that too. And obviously, one of my goals for next year is to hit 100,000 subscribers. That'd be a goal that's a goal that I want to hit next year. And judging from how it's going, I think that's a realistic thing. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of stuff next year that I really want to see and do. Have I ever met a fan in person? There was a fan of mine that used to go to my high school. He was in the grade below me, and he didn't know that it was me the whole time. But he asked me at one point if it was me, and I told him, yeah. I don't think he watches my stuff anymore, but he did at one point. But that's kind of the only time that I've met a fan in real life, if you will. And it was someone that I basically knew from school, so that didn't know that I was the same guy on YouTube making Ninjago videos. So obviously, like in my high school, a lot of people knew that I made videos, but a lot of people just didn't watch because, again, it's Ninjago content. It's not going to appeal to everybody. It's not like generalized content that anyone can just sit down and watch, but for the most part, I was pretty well known throughout my school for having a YouTube channel and being a YouTuber, regardless of what the content was. So I was kind of the only one in my school that really did that. My high school was really small. My graduating class only had maybe about 50 people in it, so that's very small for a lot of areas. I know some areas, some big cities have multiple high schools. The town that I lived in only had one. I lived in a very small town, population of about 3,000 people. So I was kind of born near a town. I grew up, I guess the first couple of years of my life, I grew up in a town that had maybe a couple hundred people. So I'm from smaller areas. I'm not really from the big city, if you will. Right now, I'm kind of living in like the biggest area that I've lived in a long time. So just a little bit of my backstory, a little bit of my real life stuff. So sorry if I go off on tangents. I'll get back to reading the chat. My least favorite ninja is Nia. Yeah, but I hope she gets some more development later on. Like at the Ninjago board game in season 13. The only 13 sets that I have, or the only season 13 sets that I have, are I have the Cole Spinjitzu Burst and the Wu's Battle Dragon. Season 13, I kind of didn't really take part in all that much. There weren't a lot of sets that appealed to me necessarily. I've also purchased a copy of the Firestone mech, but that was for a giveaway. I don't have an actual copy of it for myself, so a couple of people have suggested that I get it. A couple of people have recommended it to me, and I'm considering grabbing it, but I want to wait until it's cheaper. If I find it on clearance or something like that, maybe for like 40 bucks, I'll pick it up, but I don't want to pay full price for it. It doesn't really look all that great in terms of its design compared to other, I guess, Ninjago mechs that I enjoy. I'm really looking forward to that Titan mech, though. That Titan mech from Legacy, that thing's awesome, and I want it so bad. I probably will modify it a little bit, though, so it's not perfect, but it's pretty much one of the best mechs that we've seen. It has knees, and that's amazing. Could Moro be a ninja? Yeah, absolutely. I feel like if they brought him back, they could make him a ninja. Can I add decoded pictures? Probably not. I mean, decoded is kind of just either like looking at the screen or, just reused stuff from season 7. So I think I have the majority of the seasons on here, but I could add more. I think I'm missing a few. So maybe I'll add decoded, but not off. Like, it's not something that I'm kind of itching for, if that makes sense. What if there were a weather ninja? That could be interesting, like a ninja that could control the weather. That'd be awesome. Can I email you video ideas? Yeah, you can email me anything you want. In terms of taking like viewer requests for videos and stuff like that, though, I don't really do that much anymore. I used to do that back in the day a lot. I don't really do that as much nowadays, though. So you could always, suggest stuff to me, but I don't really take viewer requests. So I'm not so sure if anyone would really want to at that point. The scroll animations are sick. Yeah, I know, for the Forbidden Spinjitzu scrolls. Those are awesome. Really enjoy that. How do I do that to the pictures? Like have them go in the background like that? Well, right now I'm on a software called OBS. It's basically like the most common, most standard streaming software that you can get. It's for free. You can go ahead and get it online super easily. But basically, you set up pictures as a slideshow, and then you can just let them go in the background while I talk over them. So they kind of do their own thing. I just kind of set them up, and the pictures just kind of roll. I import all my pictures, all my screenshots that I used for reviews back in the day, and I just let them go. So. I want to see the scrolls used more. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think season 11 kind of, I guess, capitalized on that as much as they should have. But overall, I'd say that what we got for the scrolls of Forbidden Spinjitzu, they're okay. I really like what we got so far. Can you write the name in the chat, like the name of the streaming software? It's just going to be OBS, just the letters OBS. So you just type that in. You can find it pretty easily online and download it for free. So it's like, again, the most common, most, I guess, out there streaming service or streaming software. So it's easy to figure out, easy to manage. So I like it. It's nice and simple. Did the first Spinjitzu Master create Iron Baron and the Dragon Hunters in the first realm? I'm not so sure if he did. I'm not sure why he would do that. But overall, I feel like just in general, I don't think he had any part in that creation. I feel like they just kind of came up on their own because obviously life will exist in any way. So I don't really feel like the first Spinjitzu Master created them necessarily. Will I do a stream with Facecam? Maybe for the 10th anniversary live stream that I've been talking about. If you guys have joined me on live streams before, you've heard me talk about it, and a lot of people really want me to do Facecam. I have the opportunity to do that as well. So maybe for the big 10th anniversary stream that I'm planning on doing, because I'm planning on running a 10-hour long live stream for that 10th anniversary. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be really fun. But I'm always taking ideas for that. I have a few ideas of my own that I want to do for that live stream. It's obviously not going to be me sitting here talking over pictures for 10 hours because I would die. Um, but overall, I'm really looking forward to that, and maybe we can do Facecam for that too. What inspired me to make a channel? Well, I've kind of always been into like making videos and stuff like that. Even before my channel came out, I used to record videos all the time. Obviously, I didn't put them anywhere, but I used to record like me opening up like Pokemon cards and stuff like that when I was younger. I started this channel when I was around 13, so I'm 21 now. So I've had this channel for quite a few years at this point. But yeah, I started out like doing just random video stuff when I was younger, like maybe around 11 or 12. And then when I started to be, I guess, a little more aware of YouTube and how it worked, I realized that I could make my own channel. So I decided to make a channel. One of my biggest influences at the time was Jang Bricks. So he's been a YouTuber that I've been subscribed to for a really long time. When I started out my content, I started doing like reviews and stuff like that. I did reviews on Ninjago sets that I had, Bionicle sets that I had, Hero Factory sets that I had. I really wanted to be a Lego, I guess, reviewer, if that makes sense. But um, as of right now, it's obvious to tell that my content has kind of shifted away from reviewing sets, and now I just kind of talk about Ninjago, which I still enjoy. I mean, I love doing this for a job. I'm very fortunate that I get to do this. So that's all because of you guys, so thank you all very, very much. Will the 10-hour live stream be taken down? I don't see any reason why it would be, unless I, just blatantly play episodes in there, which is an idea, but I will go about doing that in a very strategic way that hopefully won't get picked up by copyright, so I just got to figure out what to do. Where did most of my friends stop watching Ninjago? Well, growing up, a lot of my friends were really into Ninjago. We basically had a Ninjago club at our school that we kind of hung out in and kind of talked about Ninjago a lot in. We also had all the spinners and stuff too, but they stopped watching around season 3. So we basically watched Ninjago together all the way up until season 2 ended, and then by the time Rebooted came out, a lot of them had already moved on. So unfortunately, that's where a lot of them stopped. That's basically the last thing that they remember is like the robot season. So obviously season 3. But overall, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, obviously I stuck with the Ninjago, and yeah, it kind of sucked not having friends throughout all of Ninjago's run, that also like Ninjago. But of course now I get an online community where people can appreciate Ninjago all day with you guys. So that's why I recommend joining like a lot of Ninjago Discord servers and stuff like that, because it's a pretty massive community and everybody likes the same thing. So you can enter any Ninjago channel, any Ninjago chat room, and just talk about Ninjago, and it's a fun thing. I mean, it's something that we can all enjoy. Everybody here likes Ninjago, so it's awesome. Highly recommend you guys get involved with Discord servers and stuff like that if you want to be involved in the community just a little bit more. It's also a good way to grow your own content and your own channel too. Like if you make a name for yourself in the community, there are going to be people that recognize you, and if you have a YouTube channel, you just casually mention, hey, I got a channel, you want to, sub to me, I'll sub to you back. People do that, so it's a nice way to grow. Get involved with the community and make your name known. So basically my advice. Did I get bullied because of you like Ninjago? Yeah, we used to back in the day. Just like how I said there was like a Ninjago fan club thing that we had, me and my couple friends. There was also a big Beyblade fan club. Beyblade was very popular back in the day when Ninjago was coming out. And on the playground, it was basically Beyblade versus Ninjago. And we would have like this thing in the sandbox. It was kind of like a dome thing that would be great for spinners, and they would put their Beyblades in there and try to battle and whatnot. Of course, we would try to participate with our Ninjago spinners and kind of get rejected and kind of made fun of for that. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like the biggest case of bullying ever. It was kind of like an unholy rivalry, if anything, between Beyblade and Ninjago, and that's part of the reason why I don't really like Beyblade. Because of, I guess, the whole Beyblade versus Ninjago aspect from my childhood. But yeah, I was never a big fan of Beyblade. Never got any of those. I spent my allowance money on Ninjago spinners, as did some of my other friends, and we just never really were, I guess, accepted by the Beyblade community at our elementary school. So that's kind of like the only instance. In terms of like nowadays, I get emails sometimes from people my age saying that they're being bullied for liking Ninjago, and I can agree with that in some way. I can go ahead and understand how that feels. I myself have been kind of ridiculed. Every once in a while, I'll get a comment on the channel saying like, "Oh, Ninjago's a kids show. What are you doing?" It's like, well, Ninjago's something that I like, and I kind of explain to some of the folks that send me emails. It's like it's like you enjoy it, so and they don't, so it's their loss. It's like they're obviously not into what we are, so who really cares? It's like they're nothing. So I don't know, but just overall, that's kind of my advice. If you guys are feeling any effects of, I guess, being bullied from Ninjago or liking Ninjago, well, it's probably not the best case scenario, and they're probably just sad. So that's my best advice. Just kind of let it roll off the tongue a little bit. In terms of if you guys can find my email, yeah, it's in the description. All my contact information is in the description of this video or of this stream. I got all the kinds of stuff down there. So again, it's not like I'm going to try to get back to you guys as soon as possible, but I do get a lot of emails and messages during the day, so just keep that in mind if you decide to email me or message me. So, but yeah, I don't know. Ninjago is something that we all enjoy, so it's kind of nice that we can all just like escape into the online community for Ninjago and just kind of be accepted by everyone. That's cool. Um, but I know in the Ninjago community, some people aren't really open to other things. Like I get a lot of smack for various anime that I watch and whatnot, but it's not the worst thing ever. I've had worse, so that's just my advice about that. Do you think the first Spinjitzu Master was born a dragon and turned human with his Oni powers, or born human with Oni and dragon powers? I feel like maybe his human form was kind of like a mixture of maybe both Oni and dragon, and maybe he just created Ninjago in his own image, and all the life forms afterwards are kind of based off of how he looked. Maybe that would make sense. Maybe. I'm not so sure exactly how I would, I guess, word that, but I know he was part Oni, part dragon, and maybe his actual physical form was kind of like a combination of both Oni and dragon. Very well could be. That part of Ninjago isn't really explicitly explained. A lot of the first Spinjitzu Master's origin is kind of left up to interpretation, so I like to think that maybe everyone in Ninjago is just kind of based on how the first Spinjitzu Master looked. So the first Spinjitzu Master basically looks like a Lego figure, so that's why everyone looks like Legos in the world. Even though nothing else in the Ninjago scene is made out of Lego, the people are, so I'm just going to go with that. Do I think Mr. Pale is sort of funny? He's alright. He's not my favorite Elemental Master. He's got some good lines here and there, but overall, I'd say he's just kind of like a standard background Elemental Master. Not really too much going on with him, in my opinion. So, um, would it be cool if the ninja could turn into dragons? I have a feeling maybe Lloyd could have that power. If he is part dragon, why not have a full-on dragon form? But in terms of the other ninja, I don't know. I'd say maybe it's better to summon dragons than turn into one. So, and also I don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. I mean, Ninjago is kind of taking a more grounded approach as of late, at least in seasons 8, 9, and 10. I know nowadays in season 11 onwards, they're kind of going more towards prior Ninjago and making a little bit more of a fantastical scene, if you will. I mean, in Prime Empire, they basically enter a video game that's not really realistic, but you know, I wish I could have brought Ninjago spinners to school. Yeah, the only thing that was kind of banned at our school were Pokemon cards because people would get into fights over them, and people would like set up unfair trades and trade fake cards. There was a lot of that going on back in the day in my school. There were a lot of people giving out fake cards trying to trade them for real stuff. So the school basically put a stop to that. But in terms of the Beyblade versus Ninjago stuff, the school never really got involved because, as I said earlier, it wasn't really like that big of a deal. But that's the closest thing that I've experienced to being like bullied for Ninjago. But it wasn't like it was too bad. We were just kind of excluded from the Beyblade sandbox. So but yeah, Pokemon cards didn't fly at our school. But Ninjago and Beyblade they didn't have a problem with, so that's fun. Um, yeah, I'd say Pokemon cards were kind of banned most places. If Ninjago were to be banned, I've heard stories of Ninjago spinners being banned at other schools because of the whole spinner game aspect. Because in the game, you lose by basically losing all of your weapons. Now, what would happen at some other schools in my area is that people would just take the weapons and kind of keep them afterwards if they were to lose them. So say you lose your gold inside the quakes to your friend Timmy there, and Timmy decides to not give it back. Well, then Timmy, keeps it, and that's not great. So I've heard of Ninjago spinners get banned at schools around my area, but at my school that was never an issue because there were only 4 of us that played, and we were all civil people and all friends. So we pretty much knew what we were doing. We knew how to play Ninjago. So yeah, but I've heard of instances of people stealing weapons and whatnot. So overall, we are entering the rapid fire stream session. Any question that I can answer super quick. I know I went off on a few tangents this stream. I apologize for that. Just have a lot of things to say regarding some questions. So sorry I didn't get around to answering a whole bunch of questions, but let's go ahead and get some rapid fire questions in the chat. So anything I can answer in a quick sentence or two. Let's get some questions answered before the stream gets done. Overlord versus Firstborn. I think the Overlord would win easily. Season 1 or Season 11. I prefer Season 1. Favorite Pokemon type? Ooh, probably Water type. There are a lot of Water types that I really enjoy from Pokemon. Will I do a live stream reaction of Season 14 and 15? That might be more in video format. I won't be reviewing those episodes live either. Those will be done in a regular video format. So, hope that answers your question. What's my favorite movie? Tremors from 1990. Easily one of my favorite movies of all time. Do I think the jungle dragon looks strange? No, I think it looks super funny. I like its face and I like its wings. Its wings are super small and I think it's adorable. And if I'm going to get any Season 14 set, it's going to be that. Favorite Cole moment, just off the top of my head, his final moment in Season 13 with the Spinjitzu Burst. That moment was amazing. His battle with the Skull Sorcerer, 10 out of 10 material right there. Air Jitsu or Spinjitzu Burst. I like Air Jitsu a little bit more as a concept. I think that works a little bit better for the ninja. It's a little bit more practical as well, I'd say. Do I think 16 episodes is the new Ninjago standard? Yeah, I think that's kind of likely. I'd be surprised if Season 14 did not have 16 episodes. That kind of seems to be the standard at this point in time. Favorite Ninjago mech? Ooh, from the movies, I really enjoy Cole's Quake mech and Kai's Fire mech. In terms of an actual show, I like the original Golden mech. It's a nice classic mech. I really like it. Do I think we'll see Pixel in Season 14? Yes, I feel like she will be returning very soon. I feel like she'll have more of a role in the 14th season. Do I think Season 15 will be Nia's season? Absolutely. I feel like there's a lot of evidence right now to support that, so that's basically what I'm going to go with. Let's see. Who do I want to see become a new ninja? As I said earlier, probably a little Nelson. If he were to get powers, that'd be awesome to see him become an actual ninja. He's got a lot of potential. Otherwise, obviously, the normal candidates, Skylar, Morrow, those kind of people. Is the video about the Ninjago Legacy that's coming out in February coming out today? Yes, that'll be coming out later tonight. I'll talk about the release dates of those new sets, so stay tuned for that. We're also going to be launching a video in a few hours talking about Nia's role in Season 15, so stay tuned for that as well. Have I seen the new Superman costume? I have. It looks interesting. I'm not a big Superman fan, so it's not really something that I am excited for necessarily. And let's answer one more question before we get done with the stream. One more final question. I'm going to take a sip of my water really quick. Stay hydrated. That's a good question. We can end with that. Can Lloyd do the Spinjitzu Burst? I'm going to expand that question out a little bit. Can the other ninja do the Spinjitzu Burst? I feel like overall, if a ninja is surrounded by their elements, I feel like they're more than capable of doing so. I mean, in Season 13, the term Spinjitzu Burst was kind of defined as a ninja, I guess, experiencing the full extent of their elemental power. Obviously, it worked for Cole because he was down near the center of the earth, so obviously it worked for him there. In terms of the other ninja, I feel like all they need to do is just be surrounded by their elements, and then they can go into that super quickly too. So like Nia could be underwater and do Spinjitzu Burst. Lloyd could possibly be in some type of jungle environment. Hey, maybe Season 14 will deliver on that. Not too sure, but I do think that the other ninja can do it. I don't think it's just an Earth exclusive thing. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. That'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream. In case you guys need the streaming information, here it is. We're going to start off the hug tradition in the chat. In case you guys don't know, at the end of every stream, we just spam hug in the chat. It's a nice little way to get people, I guess, to spam in the chat. So a couple of people are already starting that off. Thank you very much. Let's get a bunch of hugs in the chat. So basically for the streams, we stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. And we'll update this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I'll let you guys know. Tomorrow we will talk about episode 29, which is Blackout, if I'm remembering correctly. So we'll talk about that tomorrow for the Thursday stream. And today's stream went by pretty quick, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Thanks for asking questions. Thanks for commenting, and thank you for being patient. I know we had a couple of issues at the beginning of the stream with noise coming from my cats, so thank you guys for being patient with me through that. And also thanks for listening to my rambles. I know sometimes I get a little bit off topic and I kind of ramble a little bit, but thank you for putting up with me, and thank you so much for tuning in. Obviously, like I said earlier, we got a few more videos coming out today, so stay tuned for those. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get started preparing videos for tomorrow and also preparing the live stream for tomorrow. So thank you guys very much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next